Hello, sweet family. Welcome to another episode of Basic Kitchen Spices. Now, this is a series I'm going to be doing for a little bit because I think that there are people out there that might need to know what certain basic kitchen herbs are for. And I find that a lot of us don't know that. So that's why I decided to do this series. And this is the third episode. I hope that you enjoyed the first two and that you will come back and join me for the others. Because we're going to be looking at cinnamon, we're going to be looking at parsley, we're going to be looking at basil, we're going to be looking at quite a number of basic kitchen herbs. Now this spice, I have grown to love it. I never did before because I thought it had too much of a harsh taste in the food, especially when my grandmother cooked with it. When my grandmother cooked with this spice, it was always like so overpowering. So I guess probably she used to put too much or something, so I never liked it. But over the years, I have grown to love this herb. I love it in tea. I love it in all kinds of stuff. So I hope that you take some time and spend some time with me this morning talking about this herb. And the herb that I'm talking about is going to be clove. And I did a little bit of clove in another video that I did. But this one, I am going to be dedicating strictly to clove. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Annie. And welcome, and for those of you that are returning, welcome back. And thank you so much for stopping back because I thoroughly enjoy y'all. And what I enjoy most is the comments that I get regarding these herbs. So let me make myself comfortable and we will start. Now, clove. And I have a few bullet point notes there because I don't want to forget anything. Because sometimes you tend to forget stuff and then you say, shucks, I should have said that or I should have said this. So I don't want to forget anything this time. So we are going to be looking at that now. And clove was originated in what they call the Spice Islands, which is now Indonesia. That is where it came from, and it was used for thousands and thousands of years. They used it in medicinal, they use it in culinary, and guess what? They even used it, some places, I should say, even used it thinking, in a spiritual sense, thinking that it warded off evil and all those things. We are not going to go into that section too much, but we're going to be looking at the culinary and the medicinal uses. And then after, I'm going to show you how to make some tea. And I also have a couple of things here that I would show you. For those of you that don't really know what clove looks like, let me just show you. Now, I don't know, I don't want it to drop on my hand. I don't know if you can see, but these are my cloves. So, yeah, my hand is clean, so I'm just putting it right back in here. And I don't have much, as you can see, because I drink it in tea. And I put it in my different juices when I'm making my juices as well. But let me not get ahead of myself. So, clove, as I said, for me as a child, I didn't really like it. But I grew up in the Caribbean, and I grew up seeing them using herbs, well, all my life. And not only herbs, but clove in particular, all my life. And another thing that they did with the cloves, that at the time, I just followed the tradition, because that's what we do. We just follow tradition. But we never really tried to understand where this tradition came from. But for those of you in the Caribbean know that when we do our ham and stuff like that, we will put the pineapple or the cherries and glaze it with the honey and all of that. Well, there's another thing that they normally do with the ham. They push, like, they will stick holes in the ham, then they will push the cloves inside these holes and bake the ham then with all these different things, Bake it on a slow heat, because if it is too high, it will burn. And I never really knew why they did that. But you know why they did that? Because clove is a parasite cleanse. Yes. So it kills bacteria. It kills parasites in your stomach. So if you want to, use it with some other things if you want as well. But if you want to keep your gut health going good and different things like that, clove is a good thing, because it kills any parasite. So that probably came down through the traditions, and they probably just continued with it as well. I'm not sure if my grand knew. She never told me. I'm not sure if my grand knew why she was doing it, or if she just, but it came down through the years of them pushing these cloves inside there. So ham is made from pork. I don't eat a lot. I don't really eat pork very much now. I can't remember the last time I ate pork, but what it does, that, because pork is basically swine, and they said that is not the cleanest meat and stuff like that, and so they would push these cloves in the pork, in the ham, to kill any kind of bacteria or anything like that. That was thing. So that was something that fascinated me. I always loved the taste. And when it is baking and you smell the cloves, even what they do with cloves as well is that you can put some clove oil in one of those heated oil things, like an oil burner, and you can put like the essential oil, like what I have here, in an oil burner, and let it just burn through the house. A lot of bugs, like flies and different things, they don't like clove, they don't like the smell of clove. So that is also, and then it has an awesome, like, Christmassy scent, and it just makes the whole smell really, really great. And another way that you can use cloves is you can use it for, like your oral health, for dental health. You can you can use it as a mouthwash. You can take one of these clove things and just pop it in your mouth. Like if you suffer with bad breath or anything like that, you just pop it in your mouth, and that cleanses your breath as well. And it grows. It need to grow in a hot, humid area, and hence that's why it originated in Indonesia. And where it came from, it is like the unopened buds of the evergreen clove tree. And I thought that was very fascinating as well. I got my information from my books that I can find clove in, and also from Google, the internet. And I just compiled a list of things from that. So another thing, oh yes, and I was telling you about the oral care, and it is good for your gum disease if you are suffering with gum disease or anything like that. And it also helps with plaque. And a lot of us, we don't go to get our teeth cleaned that often, so we get the plaque buildup, and then the plaque buildup is what causes a lot of the cavities and all that. So these are things that, honestly speaking, I wish I knew a long time ago. Otherwise, I would definitely be using these things in a different way other than just the culinary, because for me, I thought it was just culinary because, my grand didn't teach us anywhere else. So I am glad that I'm sharing this with you all now. And I'm also sharing it to document it for my children and my grandchildren and all that there, so that they can see their grandmother discussing these things. And this is something that I used for a lot of years. So let's look at some of the other benefits, because it has all the antis. And there's so much antis, I am going to list them probably up there or up there for you, because it is antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antiseptic, antibacterial, it is analgesic, it is it has so much benefits. So, but I don't want to list off all those, so I'm going to put them up in the caption for you. So, another thing that it is good for our hair, it is good for the hair. It's good for hair growth. You can make it in an oil, and you can rub it in your scalp because it's good for circulation. Like when you're getting over a certain age, the blood flow to your brain, to the top of your head, to your scalp, doesn't flow the way it should. So that helps with the circulation. So this is definitely an oil that you can use on your hair, like when you wash your hair and you are putting an oil on it. This is definitely an oil that you can use as well, because it is great for hair growth. So that is another way that you can use it that is not culinary. And then you can also use it in a tincture. And the tincture, I've shown you all how to make tinctures before. And this is This is my clove tincture here. Right, this is my clove tincture, and it looks beautiful. It's red, it's nice and red, and you can use 2 dropperfuls of that. If you're not getting it in your meals, you can use 2 dropperfuls of that in your juices, your smoothies, anything like that. You can use it in. And the thing about tinctures is you don't even taste the actual herb. You don't. I mean, like I told y'all about the cayenne pepper. These herbs are so awesome. They taste so good. And if you smell the cloves, I don't know what was wrong when I was growing up, but I didn't like the smell either. But now I just love the smell because it has such a potent smell. It has such a unique smell. It is awesome. This video might be a little longer than some of the others because clove has so much awesome benefits. So just bear with me. And if you're enjoying the content so far, what you can do is send me a comment. Send me a comment and tell me how you use your clove, if you use your clove, and if you're enjoying the video so far. Just don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel because you will get more when this series is finished. I will probably think of another series to do for you. So this channel basically is going to be, I'm going to post this on Sweet Annie's Naturals and Sweet Annie's Kitchen. And the reason I'm posting it on both is because this is natural stuff and it's also culinary. So you would know how to, put it in your food and get the awesome benefits. And something I want to say before we go any further, I just want to let y'all know that I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just a person that loves herbs, grew up with herbs, and have been studying the medicinal values and all those things for quite a number of years now. And as I said, this information that I'm sharing with you is strictly for informational purposes only, and it is not to substitute any kind of medical advice or your medication or anything like that. It is just to help you in your moving forward. And clove is something that it really does not have any known like side effects or anything like that. But if you feel that it might be something that you might be allergic to because you are allergic to grass or herbs or something, then don't use it. But like anything else, if you use too much of it, it could cause side effects. But you're not going to use too much of it because basically, you're just using it for cooking, you're using it for different things. And you're not going to be like using a whole set, you know what I mean? So let us continue. So that was just my little disclaimer, letting you know I am not a medical doctor. And the next thing that it is good for, it helps with the aging process. It combats aging a bit. You can use it on your skin like an oil, And what it does is it helps with itching if you have itchy skin or if your skin is extremely dry. And when I make my oils, and I have my oil here, and this is my clove oil, but this is my clove infused oil. And so I'm gonna just leave this and let it sit for, a couple of weeks before I really use it, because I like my things to really infuse. So you can use that on your skin. You can use a little bit of the essential oil in a carrier oil. If you have acne, pimples, anything like that, just use a little bit of probably some kind of facial oil, might be a light oil, rice bran oil, almond oil, anything like that, jojoba oil, anything like that. Put a little bit of clove essential oil in it and rub it on the area, and that is going to definitely help with your acne, your pimples, anything like that. This chair gets uncomfortable. So yeah, I just decided to have like a different location sometimes instead of the same locations all the time. But and the next thing that your clove is good for, it's good for liver support, and it just in a tea, and it just helps with liver support. It cleanses the liver, purifies the liver, just helps things to move more smoothly. It's also good for gut health. You can mix that with some sweet anise, some black walnut, some neem. I think I had spoken to you all about neem before. That's another great herb that is found in Barbados in abundance. So you can mix that and mix a good parasite cleanse, because we need to purify our bodies. We need to, as my gran would call it, come and take some worm medicine, But yeah, so she used to give us worm medicine like twice a year and all that. But then after you grow up, I remember asking somebody like a while ago, where did the worms go? Nobody talks about taking worm medicine anymore. Where did the worms go? But the worms were always there. But it's just that they never stressed on taking worm medicine anymore. Like the older generation, the older generation were sticklers for that, because we used to go outside and eat rocks and eat dirt and eat all kinds of stuff. So we needed to take worm medicine. And for those of you too that might have dogs and pets and stuff like that, those they carry worms as well, because where I am here, I can't keep a pet now, but I always had pets. So they carry worms as well. And I know that when my ex-husband took the dogs to the vet or whatever the case may be, they would give the dogs some worm medicine. And I know many times I saw, and this might be a little gross now, but many times I saw worms coming out of my dog's butt, but that was in Barbados, not here where I am now. But a good anti-big C, it helps with that big C, if you have it in breast, if you have it in colon, if you have it the abdomen, you know, it just helps with that big C. I just wanted to share these things with you because you can use it. You can use it. Oh, and it is good for people. It controls your blood sugar as well. So it just helps to control the blood sugar. And as I said, and I'm going to keep saying this because some of you might not have heard my other videos, but prevention is better than cure. And my grand always used to say this. So it is better sometimes to try to prevent things than to try to go through the process of curing it. Because I know what a drag that can be and how expensive it can be, because the medical industry is one of the biggest money making factors out there. So let us try to prevent certain things, because another thing that I like to say is that health is wealth, and there are a lot of things that you can use to help you to control certain things. And that is why I am doing this series. And we are going to look at the tea right now. All I do is I get my water and I put probably 10 to 12, like in 2.5 cups of water, 10 to 12 clove pods in there. I let it boil for about 10 minutes, and then I let it stay and steep for about another 15 minutes or so, and it will get nice and brown and beautiful. And then you can have your clove tea. And then all I do is, so we're gonna have a cup of tea now, but all I do is just sweeten it with a little bit of honey, and that is it. So basically these are the things that you can do with clove. You can make them in a tincture or oil. What else? A tea, if you wanted to. I don't, because I think that the tea and the tincture and all those things are good enough for me, but I don't make it in a capsule. So that is how you can use your clove, additional to putting it in your meals, because you can use it in your soups, in your stews, whatever kind of stew you're making. If you're making beef, pork, lamb, whatever kind of stew you're making, you can do that. And if you get the ground cloves as well, you can, I normally make a Creole dry rub. You can put some of the ground cloves in your dry rub as well. You can put it in your wet rub, which I will list those things in the description box for you of how I make them. So, yeah. So there is a lot more that we can talk about, but this video will be going on for too long. So let's get to drinking our tea now. I'm going to show you how I just make the tea, but before I do that, let me just show you. Now these are just a couple of the books that I think, my usual book, the Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, then the Ancient Remedies Revived, and then I have the Herbal Kitchen here. And I like this one because this one deals a lot with mostly kitchen. It has other things too, but it has kitchen spices and different things in it. So some of my other books, I couldn't find cloves in there, but these are some of the books that I used to compile this information. And as I said, it's going to be a lot more information, but I hope this video was, informative to you, and that you will incorporate clove in your daily regimen. If you don't put it in your food, you could use it in a tincture, you could use it in a tea, and mostly people like to use it in a tea. It makes awesome tea. I get so excited. It makes a really, really, really nice tea. So you are gonna love it. Some people say it might be a little earthy, but to me, I like it. It's nice. It's a nice tea. So thank you so much once again for joining me. My name is Annie, and this is Sweet Annie's Naturals and Sweet Annie's Kitchen. And one thing I always like to tell y'all, continue to spread the love and let your light shine. Because when your light is shining, and it's shining bright, it drowns out the darkness. Because if you go in a room and you switch on the light, darkness have to go away. So I have another channel that I'm trying to rebuild now, and that is called Sweet Annie's Faith. And if you want to join me over there, I'm also going to list that I think that is listed in my description box. So you could join me over there as well. So thank you once again for joining me. We are going to be going out with just making our tea, right? We are going to put a little bit of our honey, just probably a teaspoon or so, into our, and then we are going to, this is our clove tea. See how beautiful it looks? This is it, beautiful. Just some cloves there to the bottom, and it looks awesome. If you make it too strong, it will definitely taste a little bitter or potent, or it will definitely taste too strong. But if you did, you could just add some water with it. So this is our clove tea. It's so refreshing. It's so good. I think I need to let y'all see me drinking this. This is our tea, and this is so good, and it is going down so warm. My daughter is going to be coming here today, and you know what? I think I'm going to give her a cup of clove tea and let her taste it and see how good it is, because I would love it if she could tell you how good it is. It is good. So anyway, have a great day, and this is our clove tea, and we're gonna drink our clove tea now. So you go make yourself a cup of tea, okay?